Like Marin's got it all.
Wild.
Alright, so we haven't. Did we land here the first time? Is this the same spot? Oh.
I have no idea. Yeah, get him.
Yeah.
Pretty quick. Oh. Alright.
Maybe we
live another day.
Only some of them we can kill.
Yeah, I bet you can kill all of them. I bet if you try to force pull them, they immediately dig underground because they don't want to make it too easy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't think this is where we were the first time. Yeah, just jump down there.
We just need to stay focused. It will be the legends.
An intruder? Okay.
Yes, we do own metal straws.
We do.
In fact, they came in handy the other day when everybody ordered food at D&D, but then they didn't give them any straws for the drinks that they ordered. So I pulled out the metal straws and I was like, check this out. The floor is so shiny.
It is very shiny. Nope.
Yeah, they're in the living room, and with the couch, we use a couch. I stand behind like a little table that I have for the DM thing, and then they all sit around the little coffee table. But we have a couch with a, what is that? Ottoman?
Yes.
That is like makes an L shape, but you can like move it around. And then with the 2 gaming chairs, and then I also have like a fold-out chair for people to use. There's enough room. I mean, we do take up the entire, like, living room area. It's very crowded when they come for D&D, but
I choose to hide in the bedroom.
yeah, Ian hides in the bedroom the whole time, but... It depends. Sometimes we do have a map laid out, and people don't have, like, character pieces. What I've been doing is I've been using different colored dice to mark their characters. But it depends if they're doing combat. I will sometimes have a map if it's, like, a larger area. But if it's just, like... The campaign that we're playing is called Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and it mostly focuses on roleplay and non, battle resolutions. So we have actually only had, 2 big combats, and we're on, we're gonna do session 10 this Wednesday. So they don't fight that much. It's mostly, role-playing stuff that everybody does.
Yeah, because... Well, I don't know. I think you want to play more D&D Harmony. I don't necessarily want to spoil it. But the enemies are it's not a game that you're supposed to try and kill the big bad, because the big bad will just push your shit in.
Except for, I think it's funny, I think they are going to try and kill the...
Yeah.
I think they are going to try and fight the... There's, multiple big bads. I think my players are going to try and fight one.
What?
There's a door right there for you to open.
Oh, okay, the other one didn't open, so I just assumed this one wouldn't either.
So what I'm saying is, we'll see how it goes. D&D stories have influenced your writing. You've taken ideas from any of your previous campaigns and put them into the story you're writing. I would say yes. I was actually talking to Ian about how I think, actually, for a couple of years, even before the pandemic, I think right when the pandemic started, I had started writing my really big homebrew campaign that I did.
Yeah.
And I think plotting out the world building for that and writing in lore to enrich the world for the players, and then having to come up with all the NPCs and being what's a key trait of this NPC that they're gonna talk to, you know? I think that kind of plotting, and also with D&D, I feel they tend to go in a pretty, of course the players can always surprise you and not do it, but you can plot out okay, the players are gonna do this, and then this is going to happen, and then if that happens, this is gonna happen. And I think just having written so many D&D things where like I plotted out the steps of like what would happen helps with like plotting out a storyboard for like a written story.
Yeah, and like I mean, it's like Stephen Colbert is famous for like saying D&D helped him become a storyteller. Like, you know, it really does help you develop your abilities in like every way.
There's something you're supposed to do back there because that base is still yellow.
That's where my ship is.
Oh, okay. So what are we supposed to be doing right now?
I mean, we've got these places we can go. Oh, I can fast travel though.
I was just curious.
I don't think we've been on this platform. Or, yes, we have. It's showing us the path. No, but we haven't been up here.
Can you get up there?
Oh, we'll find out. What if you could, like, go far enough into this that there was, like, an Escape from Vader segment again?
Maybe there is. Oh, hello!
Did that guy say, I'm unsure of this, buddy?
Someone else take him down.
And also, I think, because, like, I don't think it's a secret that my favorite aspect of D&D is the roleplay. So I tend to, like, be the person that's doing a lot of talking in sessions, at least with my group. I mean, with Connor's campaign, I feel like when my character's the main focus,
yeah.
I do. But, and I think that helps with, like, writing dialogue between characters, because I'm like, I've thought on my feet a lot of like, okay, like what would my character say in this situation kind of thing, you know?
Oh god. Okay. Look, it's me! Oh, it's that bounty hunter lady we're working with too.
Oh.
Oh!
He didn't have it in him.
Nope. Why? Oh, I fucked that one up.
I need a stim. Nice assist.
Oh! Yeah, when we get to that save point, then I'll teleport closer to one of the ones. This is a good place to just grind out levels, though, because there's just, like, weak enemies everywhere right now.
Yeah.
Have been identified on level 2046. Report suspicious activity to the Corps.
Is that our level?
I think, I don't know, there's like a billion levels.
Neighbor is harboring terrorists. Alert the Coruscant security force.
Oh, the classic music, it's so good. Alright, so we need to be over here, which is Freight Handling Depot. At the Home Depot.
Most of the story writing influence comes from real life experiences, like the material, but my storytelling style comes from different media of shows and series that that you love. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that is normal, because I feel like my writing, I even noticed today when I was writing, because I've been reading so much Babel, that I started writing, like, in that style, and I had to stop and be like, I don't want to copy that writing style, right? But
that's very common, and that's why, like, when you're writing something that long, your second revision is usually just making sure it all sounds like a coherent voice.
Right, like, yeah.
Because, like, you get, you know, obsessed with something.
Enemy spotted. These are cheap tricks, Jedi.
and then like you start imitating it. That's why Stephen King didn't write The Dark Tower immediately, because he had just finished reading Lord of the Rings. He was like, I don't want to imitate Tolkien.
But yeah, because like a lot of my favorite book series or books, like Winter's Orbit, and then like Court of Thorns and Roses series, you know, they are because they are under the category of like emotional. Like they focus a lot on the character's emotions. So when I'm writing, I try to like that type of storytelling is like my preference. So I try to like mimic that in my own way when I'm writing my characters too. We'll see if I actually manage to do it, but
watch this. This is really funny. Ready for it? Wait for it. Wait for it.
The intruder is attempting escape.
He's gonna keep trying.
It's so good.
Oh, his friend killed him.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Like, my story is clearly influenced by Lovecraft to some extent, but I don't know who else I would say. Like, I don't know what my voice sounds closest to right now.
I don't know.
Maybe I just sound like me.
Yeah?
But yeah, Ronnie has been rereading mine. And she's up... What are you up? Chapter 8 now?
No, I stopped on chapter 6, I think.
Oh!
Almost.
And I'm starting to feel like mine is a more or less done story, you know, like I'm getting to the point where I'm not adding too much.
Really excited to read both our stories in full. I think Ronnie's story might connect with more just on what I've been hearing these past couple of months when you talk about it. Yeah, and I also, like, mine's in first person for now. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it that way, but, like, I wanted it that way because I feel like I really go into, like, the character's emotional reactions to a lot of things, and it makes sense to me to do that. But I feel like a lot of, like, published books don't actually use first person in the narrative.
Depends.
Which is, like, it's not a bad thing, but, you know. Wait, was there an echo over here? Oh, I'm sorry. I think it's just the light from the monitor, like, flared, so.
Because, like, there's a lot of first-person stories. We just tend not to read the authors that do that.
I mean, I will say that I've probably read more first-person than you have, but they are almost always romance books. Which, again, I guess makes sense because that is dealing with, like, a character's emotional reaction to something, so you would want to get their emotions, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Squeeze on through? You're gonna squeeze on through right there? Nope, right in there, right there.
Oh, there.
Squeeze on in.
I mean, my story, I don't know, I guess, like my story has two main threads, which is, like, predestination or, like, you know, lack of free will. Because one of the main plot points is, like, it's kind of like a Jonah and the whale thing, where, like, when God tells you to do something, you kind of have to do it just because you have no way to resist. Right? And then the other one is, like, a commentary on culture and how, like, different cultures working together is absolutely necessary for the world to do anything progressive at all. And that even comes to terms with, like, you know, yes, we live on indigenous land and we should acknowledge that, but we can't undo that. Like, you know, we weren't there, and what are we gonna do? We can't everyone go back to Europe, right?
Yeah.
Stop me, please. You want the
there something in that door behind you?
Might be. Is it Alistair your favorite character of mine? No. Froze for a second.
I'll say I probably have to wait to meet him again. I think he was my favorite character on my first read through, just because I think he did have the potential to be like a pretty interesting and complex character. Oh,
we're 93% done with Coruscant.
Nice. But right now I do kind of like Malachey a little bit more than on my first read through.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't open that door down there.
Yeah,
so...
that door sealed, and that door,
and that might be the end.
Yeah. All right.
Warning. Enemy approaching.
Hello?
Move in.
I was like, does this only go down up?
But yeah, I mean, mine's...
I do have to say, I am nervous for people to read my story because I'm scared of them, like, not liking one of the characters. But then I have to remind myself sometimes like, today I saw a TikTok where, this one girl was like, I hate this character from the Court of Thorns and Roses series, and I was like, what? She's like one of my favorite characters. And I was like, you know what? Not everybody's gonna love every character, and that's okay. Like, I just have to...
Well, and I mean, it's also possible, and not necessarily they're all villains, but like, to respect a well-written villain that you absolutely hate. Like, I love Moriarty, you know? Do I think he's a good person? No.
I mean, I will be really sad if people are like, man, I love this character, and I'm like, that's one of the villains. You should not be loving them.
I usually tend to prefer the villains to the heroes.
Like, there are some characters, though, that I'm like, this is an explicitly hateable person. I think everybody should hate them.
But I mean, I feel the same way about Jonathan Christopher Morgenstern in the Mortal Instruments, but he's also my favorite character in all of them.
Focus.
All right.
Because I think he's like an insanely complex villain. I once defended him murdering a 6-year-old, and won.
Okay.
He's not human. Why should he follow human laws?
Off we go.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're mine.
It's funny because, like, I don't think, like, I'm, like, obsessed with my characters, like, in the same way, like, Ronnie is. Like, I'm interested in what they would do, but Ronnie's like, I love them.
I love my
But
characters.
sometimes Ronnie will say, like, I think they might do something like this, and I'm like,
Oh, your characters?
Yeah.
There. If you slip, you're.
I'm just trying to think of how... See, I'm giving you
I know.
pointers, because if I'm thinking they would do that, but they wouldn't, that means you gotta put something in there to say they wouldn't,
Good place to
right?
disappear. Easy to get lost.
Yeah, but, like, it's just funny, because, like, you're like, I feel like this thing could happen, and my brain is like, maybe. And then I think about it for a while, and I'm like, this is gonna happen instead.
Yeah, exactly. Drew is my least favorite character to write, but from doing a character poll, he's like third like character in my comic, but he's also grown. I mean, Drew's going through a lot of character growth, I feel like. So that makes sense to me that people would be like him. Also, he's like kind of the comic relief.
Yeah.
Which I feel like people tend to like those characters, so... Oh. Sorry, Luna.
Let's pick our next destination.
You gonna lay down or what? Hello?
Headed to Kobo, drinks are on me. Actually, forget that last bit.
Hello, Mullet Mommy.
Oh yeah, Cal and Bode, they ain't exactly
Hello,
the cleaning
Luna Kitty.
types.
I cleaned this morning. Wait, did I? No.
Wait, did I?
That's on me.
Mode?
I didn't know you were coming. Hey, maybe I'll pick up
Oh,
some
you know
scraps.
what? That makes
Why'd you
sense.
join
I
back
mean,
up anyways?
Fiona is my favorite, and then Liam is just... I mean, any sad boy character, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like is usually gonna pull pretty high. I would probably also put them
Get
as
over here,
one
kid.
too.
We're about to land.
But I also really like Bud, but I feel like we haven't got to
We
see
don't
that
know
much of
anything
Bud.
about Bud really, but Bud's like my favorite character for no reason. I just like Bud.
Luna. Luna, say hello. Oh, you're so old. You're such an old lady. Luna.
Welcome to Kobo.
Cal, so glad you're back. You missed all the action. It was horrible.
Did something happen?
The Raiders.
I mean, I have like a golden trio thing going on, so.
I mean, my favorite character of my top main 3 characters is Silas, who's just like an emo sad boy who's sarcastic and like he's supposed to be a brilliant prodigy,
We have to rescue her.
but he's kind of a jerk because of
It
circumstances.
won't be easy to get her back. The Raider
I'm
base
waiting for the
is small.
cutscene to end
They got
before
an
I...
old Luke Hulk battleship from the Clone Wars.
We've seen it. Means they got a lot of firepower.
As do we.
She's right. Now's our time to move.
I like where this is going.
They already
Mosey's like, we gonna kill people? I'm in.
feeling safe, complacent.
They'll never see it coming.
Maybe not. But if you're wrong, then they'll be looking for payback.
Not to worry. I will stay here and look after Grease and the others.
You sure?
I think you two can manage. Just don't let
I
him
think
swim
she
without
is
you.
taller than him.
Let me know if you need help.
I love it.
Max,
It's perfect.
Where's Mosey?
Marin.
All right. I'll scout ahead. Meet you there.
And then my second favorite character from my story is Keon, which is the Nepo baby, that is like generally like just very magnanimous and loved by people, but a little irresponsible, a lot irresponsible. And then Thalia is probably my third of the main 3, who she just is kind of stoic and like survival mode. I feel like I need to add more to her characterization because she just is kind of the strong silent type I have her right now, but she could be more, I feel like. Yeah. Those are my 3 characters, though.
Who showed up with you?
Erin, she's a good friend. What
So
about
for me, I think Alistair is my favorite character. Because he's
her? Are you
like
afraid of Marin?
old enough to understand the danger of the stuff people do around him. He's also rich because he was adopted by a high-ranking political official, but he was homeless before that. So when he meets the other main character, Malashe, he's kind of like, I was homeless, I understand what you're
I'm
doing.
not.
I think it's a complex thing. And then, like, he was one of the first people to meet, like, a foreign nation for the first time. So he really wants to, like, help build a strong foundation between the two groups.
Breeze ever tell you the story?
But also, I feel like he's very silly until you force him not to be.
Yeah.
And then Malashe is just a homeless thief who's, like, constantly in survival mode, but, like, he starts to understand through the story that not, like, making it and being comfortable is not enough for him. He wants to be having adventures.
Pyloon's is as important to him as the Mantis.
So I think he's, like,
That's why he named it after his great-grandma.
always in survival mode, but really enjoying, or, like, learning to enjoy, like, the thrill of
Your secret's
the
safe with
heist. Now that he's not constantly starving and looking for a place to sleep.
You know what I like about
And then, I think Asiana's my third favorite. I think she's, like, a weirdly complex character because she's kind of shut off because her mom died.
Guessing
And
that's the
she's
same with
being
you.
trained to be the leader of her village. But she doesn't know all the secrets of her people yet because she hasn't, like, initiated into the highest rank. But her people can see spirits of, like, humans and non-human entities. And so she starts to wonder because she's, like, assaulted by a person in her tribe who then dies, why, like, she should trust his spirit because her people believe that the spirits, like, are always working in favor of God and, like, pushing the earth towards some kind of
smart enough to know
status that it should always be in. But she's like, if this person sucked in real life or in life, why would he be better in the afterlife?
Tempting.
I don't know how I feel that we both ranked the female characters of our trio at the bottom.
Oh, Asiana. Asiena.
You stay safe now.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but
You know, I actually don't remember anymore how I named her. It's been so long.
I think it is ACIENA.
Yeah, yeah. It's a combination.
Finally, those pesky Jawas.
I make all my names by combining
Saw some
stuff.
Jawas in the forest.
Like Malochet is
You ain't
Mal,
seeing 'em no
bad,
more.
and Church, the search in French, bad searcher,
themselves a little
because he
village on
finds
the
like a
far side of
cursed
the valley.
artifact, you know?
No one's heard a peep from them since.
Yeah.
Not
Sorry, I was
one.
Alistair
Luna.
means defender of the
We'll see how
people.
they're doing.
Really?
My characters' names have no
Mr.
meaning. I just
Goody.
picked names that I liked the way they sounded.
Oh, Bogling.
I mean, they probably have meanings. I just didn't look them up. So, I just like the way that they sound. So that's why I named them.
Thanks for keeping an eye out while we go after Z.
If the raiders return, we will make them regret it.
Reckon we're gonna get along just fine.
I think so.
Oh no. Are you competition now?
Maybe.
Go, Cal.
You were dating that giant purple lady in the book, so.
I mean, Mosey is pretty ripped.
Lurking in the mountain
Can't say I do.
may seem peaceful, but when disturbed, it will charge.
Other than
and
their last name
trample
showing
you.
their ethnic
Its thick
background, I
hide
was like,
makes
this
them
sounds
nested
good.
even
Yeah,
in strong
exactly.
How would you approach it?
Like all of my stuff, like there's a forest called the Anti-Sienta, which is like before Central, before the middle, where the mountains are. Centagon Mountains, like the Central Mountains.
Talk soon.
Oh, hey.
What's wrong, Grease?
I'm just thinking about the Bedlam Raiders. Pyloon's was meant to be a home away from home, but these raiders are ruining everything. Everyone's afraid, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Nah.
At least people have a place to lie low.
Yeah, I suppose you have a point.
Besides,
Bye,
if the
Luna.
raiders come around again, I've got your back.
Thanks, kid. I appreciate that. Let's talk in a bit, yeah?
Cool things for readers. If you have an interview, you can talk about it. That's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Dana. Brock.
Welcome back. Great to see
If I ever do an interview about my book, I'll just be like, yeah, I just really love Dragon Age, and I'm sure everyone will be like, yeah, we know. We can tell from reading the story.
We watched your YouTube playthroughs.
We made off with a big stinking drive core.
Yeah. After Dana dropped a half-ton Durasteel brace on me.
It was involuntary. That shiverpede meant business. You just choked under pressure.
Choked. Cal, the woman almost got me killed. Practically wrote my damn epitaph.
Aw, is it time for your nap, grumpy old Brock?
What the heck is wrong with these two?
I know.
See you when I see you.
Can't beat what I've got. You have to admit, that's not.
Oh, right. She has all the gun stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did she have some droid stuff, too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, these things suck.
Done.
But if I could use them against people.
Hey, Two Locked.
From the eye of this storm.
You're hanging out with Morin now?
Of the beast, you must go.
Yeah, I know.
What ails you, Sojourner?
Just wondering how things would have been different if I could have stopped them from taking Z.
Do your powers also include omniscience?
No, but
Seek only where you wish to go, not where you long to have been. Regret is a mirage that leads many off the path. Now is not the time to speak.
Say, Cal, what do you make of this place?
Or it's Grease's place. I'm hyping it up.
lots of potential.
Did we look up his voice actor before?
Anything has potential.
I don't think so.
Squint hard enough.
What about you? You seem to spend a lot of time here.
What do I think? I'll lay it out for you. This place violates about 24 business fundamentals, giddily deploys false advertising practices, and is riddled with moles I daren't investigate.
I daren't.
It serves drinks and doesn't close its
Ronnie and
doors
I have
when
been
the bad
talking
weather's
about
locked
doing
in
like
town. More than you can say for any other establishment on
cozy
this
study
lot.
streams where like we put on like a library background and like relaxing music, and we'd have our mic turned off unless we need it, and we just like work on like art or like writing and stuff, and people could just hang out, you know, and like chat and work on their projects, kind of like Lo-Fi Boy or Lo-Fi Girl.
Ah, yes. A toast. Salt and seed. Sickle and oven. Baked to perfection in 1 or a dozen.
Top 3, it's because I like them, but also because they are the easiest characters to draw. Ayane, Kiona, and Liam. So pretty similar to the reader poll. I'd say Kiona is your top spot for a long time, but from writing the script for chapters 19 and 20, Ayane moved to that spot. I mean, I can't wait to see, like, we're finally getting into, like, her story. Oh, why are you standing so close to them?
Because Ash is also very, very hot.
We're finally getting into, like, her history with her dad and stuff, though, so it'll be good to... And I think it's good that you like the character that is, like, the main character the best, right? Because I feel like as the author, that should be the case.
Yep. New and familiar, all at the same time. Enjoy the beats, Cal.
Trying to figure out who this guy's voice actor is, because...
Cal, while you're here, could I run something by you?
Sure. What have you got?
I heard some dredge operators discussing a strange structure in the swamp. Almost certainly another High Republic chamber. But I don't like my chances of conducting successful research on the Raiders' doorstep.
Maybe I could check it out for you.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. We'll talk soon.
Okay, we know where another chamber is now. Hi, Turgle.
You and Bode are gonna take the fight to the Raiders.
Word travels fast around here.
A daring assault on the Raider fortress by the mighty warrior and his gunslinging sidekick to save their droid companion. Yes! Z is lucky to have a friend like you. I'm really busy, Cal.
Are you?
Hey, Monk.
You look tired. Take a load off. Hey, Cal. Got some info that might be useful to you.
Hey, Monk.
Word is you're planning to rescue my new favorite droid.
I understand, because all these lists have Gabs listed, and Gabs literally died in, like, the first 5 minutes, but they don't have Moran listed, who's in the pub the whole time. But they have Turgle and Cage and, like, all the other characters there.
How deadly those things are. It may be grounded, but that ship is still chock full of defense turrets and reprogrammed battle droids.
How do you know all this?
I read a lot. Listen, just grab Z and skedaddle before the whole hive comes swarming down on you.
Thanks for the advice, Monk.
Be careful out there.
Alright, now time to go see our favorite character.
I just want to know because he sounded pretty familiar.
I hope they all get along.
Aye, but this is no the time for self-congratulations.
No the time.
Still leagues of bubbles left for more fishes. Let the hunt continue.
He said it's over half full.
Look at all those fish we got. Oh my god, this is impossible.
Tank state dirty. 6 of 12. Look at our fishies. Alright. And then we got that gardener.
I give up.
Hello? Gardener?
LA? Or...
There's plenty more soil to expand.
Excellent!
Keely.
A new species. Plant it. I'll explain it to you.
Hi, Peely.
So far, Kobo has been a...
One of the themes for her character is finding her voice and speaking even if it shakes, and which is something I've struggled with a lot growing up. It's just another thing I put in my characters from myself. No, not everyone likes a quiet character, but the journey is important for a lot of people. Yeah, I definitely, and I feel like you can definitely see that in her character arc. Like, it comes through pretty,
yeah.
like, well.
Much like healthy roots, do not overextend yourself. Grow the plants we have, and I'll clear more garden space in due time. Just you wait for that golden light moss to grow. Observe the roots that rise up underneath, helping the flowers to reach nearby light sources. I see you planted a spine fluff. They are quite adorable, but beware. Nested amongst those plumes.
They're, like, this alien in particular makes me nervous.
We can talk later.
They scare me.
Want to plant some seeds?
When plants grow, you grow.
Do we have any other plants? It looked like you had one other one. The Crimson Jelly Spire.
And we have a new type of plant. Wonder if Peely has something to say about it.
You found the jelly spire, I see. It may look flimsy, but they have a strong, fibrous core keeping them steady.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh, is that? Is there somewhere else you can go over here now?
What? Ow. We gotta go down to the ground floor.
Or no, I think you have to. I think you jump onto that from the roof. Elcor? What's the Elcor?
I don't know. Read the message above it. It's not Mass Effect.
Oh, sorry, I missed that one. Remember the alien race that spoke their emotion before talking? I do not remember that. No, wait, do I remember them?
I can do this.
Trolling.
I was like, what do they look like? I feel like I remember them saying the emotion first. Did we have somebody on our team that was that? I'm gonna look them up. Oh!
Double-bladed stance.
Happy, welcome, customer. Yeah. No, I remember they're like the big. Honestly, I don't know. They kind of look like rhinos type creatures. Right. Which honestly, I think that is a pretty. That's like an easy way to make like an alien species interesting, right? Is they're like they are monotone, so they say the emotion they want to convey before saying a sentence.
Yeah.
Remember your training. Get in here.
I saw this, that makes me think of this TikTok I saw. I see a lot of writing TikToks now, probably because I watch them all. But they were like, me, as a writer, I'm going to make my own fantasy world so I don't have to read books and books worth of historical data to accurately write something in a Earth history, right?
Mm.
And then it's like, I played myself, now I have to come up with all the history for my book instead. And I was like, man, I feel that.
How do I do it? That's not what I wanted.
That was pretty cool, though.
How do I do my Sidious move?
I don't know.
L1 square. Alright, get prepared to get fucked. I am the Senate. Yeah, like, I mean, I really enjoy history. So I really love the research part of writing, but like, I can see why some people would hate that.
I do too. I feel like if I were to write like an alternate history or historical fiction, I would feel like it didn't give me enough freedom to necessarily just like come up with stuff that I wanted to happen to the characters. And then two, I would always be so worried because there's gonna be people that read it and they're like, actually that wouldn't have existed until 20 years later, and you included electricity into your novel, and I'm just like, there's also dragons in it, so like, did that exist? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm always like, I'm just gonna write it on my own, in my own world, so that I'm just like, it does make sense because I made it all up, so you can't tell me it doesn't.
Damage detected.
We've done it.
Nice job. Really did. You messed those droids
That
up.
one was so much easier.
Yeah.
And perfect timing.
It's gone now. We did it.
Skill point acquired.
Where are we flying to?
Distance.
I'll be there someday. I can go the distance. I will find
Where are you
my
going?
way to the save point.
Oh, why don't you just go back to the inn?
Ah! If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. I will go most anywhere to feel.
I'm letting Ian do his little Hercules song. I feel like you end up singing that one more than other Disney songs on stream quite often.
Okay, got any requests?
No, I'm just saying you must really like that one. I mean, Hercules is
love
a great.
Hercules.
Hercules is a great music.
Zero the hero with no doubt. I don't know the
Let it
words,
go.
but it's like something of isolation, and it feels like I'm the queen.
Why didn't you just start with the chorus?
Because I don't want to be like belting that out.
Okay. I don't actually know that many words to that one either. I don't think I definitely haven't watched Frozen as much as some of the other Disney movies.
Well,
so.
that's like the big song in Frozen, but it's not the best song in Frozen.
What's the best song in Frozen?
Honestly, it might be that opening song where they're all carving ice. I don't know any of the words to it, but it's just a hardcore bop.
Okay. If we did Disney karaoke.
Yeah, if we want me to go off on a Disney movie, put me in The Princess and the Frog.